Hi, welcome to Hey Parents, Let's Chat. I am Jess Hunt, and I am hoping that this conversation helps a lot of women out there. Um, I wanted to have a very brutally honest conversation about breastfeeding. Now, this isn't a conversation about whether we should breastfeed or not. That's not what this is about. I do want to have a very open conversation and an honest conversation about all of the things about breastfeeding that really aren't talked about. Okay? Um, I, as a pregnant woman, went and read all the magazines and, watched all of the TV shows. And this was, of course, 20 years ago. My eldest is about to be 22. He's 21 right now. And so 21-ish years ago, we didn't have all of the resources that we have now. But as a woman, I was trying to be super informed and wanting to do all the right things, reading all the materials, and I knew that, and I had heard that, there were things like nipple confusion, and there were things like latching on. You might have issues with latching on. Your baby might not do it right away, so you have to practice. Okay? I also heard you might get a breast infection, which you have a red line that goes from your nipple, and you have to treat it, take it very seriously. I heard all of that. Fine. That's common knowledge out there. But once I experienced it, I was like, hey, why wasn't this talked about? Why is this a newsflash to me? And this is one of the reasons why I want to have this community of parents chatting and sharing ideas, because this should not be a newsflash to women. And so this video is going to talk about all of the things about breastfeeding that are not public knowledge. It's like this top secret thing, it's not really discussed. Maybe it's, not appropriate conversation, not polite conversation. Well, you know what? We're having it. Because if you are out there and you are a woman who is pregnant and you're considering breastfeeding, kind of thinking you need to know so that you're not blindsided like I was and like many other women out there. And so this video, this chat, this conversation is for women who are pregnant. This video is also, frankly, for the women who are in the midst of learning how to breastfeed. They've just had a baby and they're going through all of this. So, and I'm hoping that there are moms out there that have been through this. You've already done it and you can share your expertise, adding your comments into the chat box of what helped you. And yes, you experienced this. Yes, you didn't. Or no, you didn't. And also, you veteran moms, or any of mom, you could be a young mom with toddlers and you know someone who is pregnant or you know someone who's struggling with this. Well, share this information, share this video, open up the conversation. And here's what we're going to talk about. And I'm just going to put this right out there. And so if you are sensitive to swearing, I apologize in advance. You know what? Here's the news flash. Breastfeeding fucking hurts. I remember literally thinking I would rather go through child labor again. And believe me, I spent hours in labor. And this is not a conversation about all of our different experiences with labor. We can do that another time. But one of the things I knew is that labor, I knew it was going to end in a matter of hours. When you're learning how to breastfeed, you have no idea when the pain's going to end. And when I talk about pain, it is like knives shooting through your nipples from the inside out, right through your nipples every single time. Now, it would be one thing, like, if your child only had to eat once a day. Okay, I could survive that. But those little darlings, they have to be fed every couple hours, which means you have to not just agonize once a day, but you have to agonize several times a day. It is awful. It is awful. And your nipples get so sore. And like, okay, so you're dealing with this pain. And again, knives shooting straight through your nipples from the inside out. Okay? Veteran moms, share your comments. Could be different. Okay? And some of you moms might frankly have not gone through this. Some of you moms might have been out there and be like, you're like, oh, I didn't have that. All the power to you. Awesome. Great. But for a lot of moms out there, oh my God. I wish that somebody had warned me, because then I could have gone into this informed. I could have gone into this fully aware of the pain that I'm going to go through. You know, when you talk about labor, everyone knows, oh my gosh, it's going to hurt. Y'all know that. And y'all go into labor knowing that ahead of time. I don't recall that at all with breastfeeding. I remember hearing, oh, it's the most natural thing in the world. It's beautiful, the bonding. Okay. Again, if you're sensitive to swears, apologizing in advance, fuck no. No, no, no. No. And in all honesty, and we'll get to this, you get there. You get to the point where it is beautiful and natural. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But when your body is going through what's called like nipple training, and you're experiencing it for the first time, it hurts. Okay? Like literally toe curling. I remember sitting in the recliner, my little darling, and everyone, telling me, oh, you've got to relax, it'll be easier. What? I am supposed to relax as I'm holding my little bundle of love, and I'm about to literally go through this agonizing pain, and you're telling me to relax? You're telling me to not be stressed out? Really? You're going to go there? Because I am literally about to have my nipples torn apart while I'm just trying to feed my child, and you want me to relax. Well, that's not helpful. What would have been helpful is if someone had said, you know what, it hurts, and your toes are going to curl, and literally your toes, as you're latching on, literally want to crawl up into your body, okay? And it's like this toe curling pain. If someone had just told me ahead of time, then I could have just like sucked through it and like been like, okay, I know I can relax because I know it's going to hurt, and if I just suck it up for a short period of time, it will get better. Okay, but as I'm experiencing this, and no one's telling me these things, everyone's just saying, relax, don't be stressed out. Lactation consultants would be like, try not to be stressed. And as I appreciate all of their advice, I'm like, how can I relax? Because I'm really trying hard, really trying hard as I'm stressed out, knowing I'm going to go through this pain, right? I just wish that there had been more honesty with this whole subject. So anyway, you're going through this pain, one thing, but then at the same time, emotionally, you're trying to deal with this pain, but then the agonizing guilt I feel as I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to actually resent feeding my baby. What an awful, awful feeling. This absolutely awful feeling of, oh, I don't want to go through that. Like, can't I just take a break for a couple hours? Like a couple days? Well, of course, no, you can't, because this little human being needs you. And so you're going through this dilemma of, I have to, really don't want to, and I feel guilty because I don't want to. I'm feeling guilty now because I'm not experiencing that in love moment as I'm breastfeeding my baby, And what an awful mother I must be if I'm going through all of these feelings. And so, does that mean that I'm less of a mother? That I am not a good mother? Because I don't want to feed my baby in the most natural, beautiful way out there. Like, these are just really tormenting thoughts that, as a new mother, as a woman, that I'm experiencing. And these were also things that I don't ever remember being told about. I don't ever remember, being told, you know what, you might start feeling guilty about feeding your baby because you don't want to go through that pain again. And that guilt is okay. And you're going to start resenting the fact that you have to feed this little bundle. And you know what? That's okay too. That would have been really nice because, frankly, it is okay. It is okay to have those feelings because who truly wants to go through all of that pain and suffering, right? I mean, so I just wanted to have this open and honest conversation. And you know what? It is painful. It's an emotional struggle as you're dealing with all of these emotions. And the one thing I can say is just like talk about it. Have conversations with other moms. And actually share your feelings. If you are starting to resent feeding your kid, talk about it. And talk about it with moms who have gone through this. And you're going to realize that you're not the only one who's gone through this. And so it's super important that you're not just bottling that stuff up inside. And what I will say is, like, once you get through the pain, the nipple training, and I will say that it's different for everyone, obviously. We're all different. Our bodies are all built differently. And this is a hard thing to grasp, right? Because you're in the middle of this and you kind of want to know when it's going to end, right? If you're in labor, in hours it's going to be over. But with nipple training, as you're getting used to breastfeeding, you don't know if it's going to be days, weeks. For me personally, it was easily 3 weeks. And if you multiply 3 weeks, how many feedings? That's a lot of torture. And so I just want to be super honest with people out there. For me, it took 3 weeks. It could take you more. It could take you less. And again, it's a little bit different. Now, here is the good news. If you can get through that, and for some women, they can't. They choose not to, and they choose to, go ahead and start bottle feeding because it's like too hard. And this is why I want that conversation out there, because I don't want women to think that there's something wrong with them because it's too hard, or that they want to stop because it's too painful, or that, something is wrong with their bodies, they're not working right, they're not bonding with their kid, all of these awful things that we do to ourselves with all of this mom guilt, right? That's why I want this conversation out there. If you feel like giving up because it's too painful or it is too hard, I'm here to tell you it will end. It will. No matter how long it takes, for everyone it's different. And then once your nipples are trained and it's over, breastfeeding then becomes the most beautiful, natural thing that you can imagine. It's just wonderful, because it forces you to take a moment to be present with your kid I remember thinking I've got so many things I need to do. I've got dishes, I've got cooking, I've got blah, blah, blah on my list of chores. And breastfeeding forces you to stop all of those chores and tasks that we all as moms have to do. Sit down with your baby and just feed them. And those are the times when you start looking down at them as they are gently touching you, and you might be gently holding their hand. And you then have those relaxed, comfortable, bonding moments that absolutely are beautiful. So you will get there. I'm just wanting you to know it does happen. You just kind of have to know that you have to struggle through all of the nipple training first. So I am hoping that we can have this open and honest conversation. So go into the comments section and add your comments. Did you experience this? What helped you when you were going through this? And share ideas. And then hopefully all of those moms that have newborns, or all of those moms who are pregnant, can learn from our conversations and perhaps avoid the I'm going to give up because it's so painful moments, or I feel like a bad mom because I'm resenting feeding my kid. Let's have a keep it real conversation about breastfeeding, and all of the things that go along with it that are really just not discussed, unfortunately. And so if you know somebody who is pregnant for the first time, please share this video with them. If you know somebody who has a newborn baby and they're struggling, share this video with them, and let's have open and honest conversations. If you're a veteran mom, and you've been there and done that, share your tips for tits. That was really bad, but share your tips. Like, let's learn and perhaps prevent some of the agony and stresses that other moms might be going through. So go to the comments section, add your thoughts, and click on the like, the share, invite others, do all of those things so that we can be sharing our conversations out there. And until our next chat, thank you for joining us.